Hello everybody, Amy here from SweetStamp, live on the Cake Decorating Company's Facebook page. Thank you to the Cake Decorating Company for inviting me to showcase some of my SweetStamp products. And the Cake Decorating Company has loads going on at the moment. I saw they released some cool baking mixes, so that's going to be nice and fun for you to bake at home. But I'm going to show you some really cool SweetStamp techniques. I've got loads of great products here that are all available online at the Cake Decorating Company, and they actually have some really good deals on at the moment, so you're going to want to check that out. So I'm going to pop over to the other camera here, and I'm going to show you some of the products we're going to use, and we're actually going to create a cake in the kind of theme of, you know, Carol Baskin, I think that's her name, from the Tiger King. So it's going to be a kind of fun cake, but very pretty at the same time. And it's actually inspired by somebody I found on Instagram called Ginger Bear Bakery. So if you're on Instagram, follow her. Some beautiful cakes and cookies and so on that you'll definitely be inspired by. But I was really inspired by this really beautiful cake, and I'm going to show you how I do my take on it and show you SweetStamp and Sweepstakes products. So let me pop over to the other camera here and I can show you what we have in store. Pop my phone out of the way. So I'm going to be showing you the blank canvas, and if you haven't seen the blank canvas yet, this is a really cool kind of cake topper concept that I came up with, and it's a way for you to create custom toppers on your cakes made from sugar paste. You can also use like modeling chocolate if you want, but it's primarily for sugar paste. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll out your sugar paste, you're going to cut your shape out with the SweetStamp blank canvas cutter, and then it sits perfectly onto the SweetStamp blank canvas topper. And we have 6 styles available in the blank canvas topper range, all available online on the Cake Decorating Company. And there's just a really nice way to make your cake topper match your cake. And it's all kind of sugar pasty, and you can paint them the same way and decorate them very similar as well. The other shapes are like hexagon. There's a rainbow, which is really cool. We used that for Patrick's Day recently. It was really nice. There is a hexagon, rainbow, circle, plaque, and there's a heart as well. So there's a few there for you to choose from. So the Cake Decorating Company have only recently started stocking the SweetStamp Botanical kit. So the Botanicals is designed by the Caketress. So if you're on Instagram, follow the Caketress, and you'll see this beautiful set designed by Laurie. And these are all beautiful florals that you can decorate your own cake, whether it's going to be the side of your cake, cookies, cupcakes, whatever you decide to do. It's just a beautiful floral arrangement, and it's so custom to your style. So you can create your own pattern, you can paint it, you can leave it bare, you can dust it. There's so many options, and it goes from like tiny little fillers to leaves, branches, and then you have your bigger flowers as well. So I'm going to be showing you how to use this around your SweetStamp lettering, and you might be inspired to use them on cookies and cupcake toppers as well. So it's a really versatile set, and they have that online at the moment, so you can grab that there. They've just got that in, so there won't be that many, so grab it quickly. And I'm going to show you, I think these are actually my 2 favorite sets of SweetStamp. We have about, must have about 25 sets at the moment, but my heart belongs to these 2 here. And this is the elegant set, and this is the classic set. So usually when you buy SweetStamp, you get hooked. You'll see on all the groups online people comparing their SweetStamp collection. But I think it's a good idea to have a variety of sizes and styles, and these 2 are really good to start with because the classic is a very plain font. So if you can see, it's like just classic font. It's just really simple, nothing too complicated. It works really well for kids' cakes, boys' cakes, even elegant cakes. So don't be fooled for the classic or boring that you might think it is. It's actually such a lovely set to have. And I'm going to show you how you can pair the elegant set with the classic, or whatever set you do choose from. So I think having the classic set in your SweetStamp toolkit is a definite. And this has to be the girliest set we have. This is the elegant, and maybe that's why it's my favorite. I just think it's so pretty and flamboyant. Like, look at the A here. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? I'm going to bring it up to the camera there a bit closer, so you can see it's just a classic calligraphy style, and I adore this. And because it's so flamboyant and pretty, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the letters lined up perfectly. You can be a lot more free rein with it. And I would definitely recommend this more for the girly cakes, wedding cakes, and so on. So they're my picks for today's live, and I'm going to be showing you how to use these with the pick-up pads. So every sweet stamper needs a pick-up pad, and I'm going to show you why during this video. We're also going to be using products like some of the brushes that the Cake Decorating Company newly have in stock. They have the SweetStamp Deluxe dusting brush set, and I use this so much because I am obsessed with the watercolor effects and all the beautiful designs you can do with watercolor, and these work so well. So it's not just for dusting, you can actually use this to create a watercolor paint and just to give a lovely kind of watercolor effect on the side of your cakes or your cookies, cupcakes, whatever you decide. And they've recently got the Sweepstakes paintbrushes in, so these are definitely one that you want to look at. Really high quality and so many different sizes and styles as well. So if you're into painting onto cakes, you always have to invest in some good paintbrushes, so I definitely recommend them. So what we're going to be using today to decorate the cakes once we've sweet stamped is the edible art paints. And as you know, the Cake Decorating Company carries so many colours, but I'm going to be using these 3 colours here. Let me pop up to the camera to show you how gorgeous they are. So we have the hot pink, and these are the metallics. So that's hot pink, mandarin orange, and coral. So coral is actually just, it's so beautiful. So wait till you see this on the cake. But I think those colours work really well. And if you watch Tiger King, you will know that there's one scene where Carol Baskin is wearing this mad shirt, and these are the colours of it, accompanied with some gold. Of course, you can never have too much gold on your cakes, and I'm going to show you how to use the gold luster dust with the perfect pour. So everybody loves to see how the perfect pour works, and I'm going to show you how you can use this handy tool to instead of painting. So if you don't want to paint your sweet stamp letters in, you can use the perfect pour, and it just gives you more options, and depending on the project you have in front of you, you can use different methods. So I'm going to show you so many different methods of sweet stamp work and painting work, and you can use this and translate it to any style you decide. You don't have to just follow these colors or this pattern. You can use the techniques you learned today on so many different type of cakes. So I am going to get started now. I have my white dummy already covered. Maybe not the best, but I attempted it. So you can do this effect with buttercream, but I find that I just love painting, and I love the fact that you don't have to worry about baking the cake and layering it, ganaching, buttercreaming, and then covering in the one day. When you cover your cake maybe the day before, you can worry about decorating the next day and delivery the next morning. So I'm all about making things easier and simple and beautiful, and that's why I created the Sweet Stamp concept, because I like to do things quickly. I don't have much patience, and I love the idea of making cake decorating accessible to every level. And Sweet Stamp is not just for beginners, intermediates, or advanced, it's for everybody. I've even seen kids use it. So don't feel like it is a professional tool for your kit. It is actually so easy to use, and I've seen kids use it, so don't worry. And I'm going to show you how to use it step by step, and I'll advise some sets that might suit you if you're a beginner or if you're concerned, or depending on your style as well. So I will pop onto the comments a little later and answer any questions. But I'm going to get started and turn this dummy cake into something beautiful. So let me just pop on and see if I can zoom in a little bit more here. There we go. And I also have the side view as well. So I have my beautiful little white dummy here, and I'm just going to get my paint palette, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing here on the table with the other view. And I'm going to start with my dusts or paints. So you can use your paints for this job, or you can use your Sweepstakes luster dusts. And I'm going to show you how to use both of them for this effect today, and why these are better for some things and these are better for the other. So I'm going to use the paints to start with. The edible art paints are just the bomb. So all you do is shake, pour, and paint. That's their slogan. And the Cake Decorating Company, I think they have all the colours online, so you'll see the variety. They come in metallics and opaques, and one coat will paint a cake perfectly. So I'm actually going to just show you what I mean by that. Oh, there's a brand new one. Let me just pop off the film. 1 second. I use these paints so much, and a little goes a long, long way as well. So I'm just going to pour a little bit into my palette here. And you see I've given that a shake now, so the paint is really strong. And I'm going to show you, without diluting it, the strength of this paint and how fantastic it is. So I'm just going to get one of my flat brushes here, and I'm going to show you on the top here. Can you see how great that is being painted there? So you can actually paint a whole cake in that metallic, and that is going to give you that effect. So you don't have to worry about colouring your sugar paste all in one go. You can actually just paint, 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 and that's it. That's going to be really good for some like black cakes. If you don't want your cake to be covered in black sugar paste, or if you don't have black sugar paste to hand, you can actually just use the black paint and paint it directly on. I will give you a little test. Actually, I can test this on the top because we're going to be covering the top in a little while. So this is the black paint, and look at how strong that is. One coat and you can cover the whole of the outside of your cake in black. And these paints actually work on buttercream and ganache as well. So don't feel like it's just solely for sugar paste. So it works on royal icing, buttercream, not your Swiss meringue buttercream because that never sets, and ganache, and even some chocolates. It's not designed for chocolates, but sometimes it does work on chocolates. So I'm going to show you this really cool watercolor technique with these paints. So I'm sure the cake decorating company have this or something very similar: dipping solution, rejuvenator, any high grade alcohol. You can get that with the cake decorating company. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour loads of the alcohol into the middle of my palette here. I'm going to get my dusting brush, and I'm going to absorb it all into my dusting brush. And I'm actually just going to use this because it's already there, and see how that's creating a beautiful watercolor, just effortlessly, just like that. So I can do that now with all the colors, and I'm going to create a beautiful kind of watercolor technique with 3 of the edible art paints. So that is the mandarin orange and the coral. Oh, a new one as well. I swear I have probably 5 of each open here. So again, a little shake, and I'm just going to pour that out there. Lovely. So I'm just going to swap to the other camera now in a second. I'm going to ask David, who's in the room with me, if he could just lower the camera in front of us so you're going to get a better view of the front of this here. So let me tell you when we're ready. So 1 second. Just lower the camera there, David, please. Lovely. That's spot on. So we're here again, and we've got a lovely view of the side of the cake, and this is where we're going to be painting most of our pattern. So I'm going to show you how to do that nicely now. So I'm using the paint straight from the bottle mixed with a little bit of alcohol, and I'm just going to paint the side of the cake. Just see that, it's already coming together. So if anybody knows the Tiger King series on Netflix that everybody was obsessed with there not too long ago, I'm creating the shirts, the kind of mad shirt that Carl Baskin was wearing. It had like pink and coral and orange, and I have the perfect match with the edible art paints here as well. So I've just done some of the orange, and I'm going to move on to the pink now. I love the fact that these are the metallic colours. They are available in opaques if you're not into the metallic effect, but I think it's just really fun for this style and real elegant. And I'm going to show you how to paint leopard print after. So you can see what I'm doing here. There's no rules to this, whatever you think looks nice. And more paint, a little bit more of the alcohol, just to keep it nice and watery. And I'm just going to paint around the side of the cake, so you can see how that's coming together quite nicely. And again, sometimes with this technique, the messier it is, the better it looks. So don't worry, this is not something that if you're a perfectionist that you want to be concentrating on. You just want to take your time. You can blend the sides if you want. I'm going to leave a little bit of white here as well, just for the sake of having that contrast to show you how great that colour is. So next I use the pinks, I'm going to use the coral. I'm going to use a slightly smaller brush for this. Again, absorbing all the alcohol into that brush and then painting. And don't worry about mixing the colors as well. That's what's so nice about this style, is you can blend and mix and it looks so well. So a bit more orange there. And I'm going to just go over this loosely now with the kind of watercolor technique, and then I'm going to go back over it with just the pure paint and focus on certain areas that I want to be stronger. So let me see, I'm mixing up the colors now. So we have, oh, here we go, the coral. I'm going to go back to coral. And if anybody has any questions, I'm going to pop on and answer them. And I think there might be somebody online from the cake decorating company that's helping out as well. So nice and messy. This is not something that you want to worry about. You just go for it. I'm not going to do the whole cake because I have a one I prepared earlier situation here as well. So you don't have to be bored by watching me just paint. I'm not going to go on too long for this live. So I've seen there's some great lives at the moment all over Facebook, and everybody's showing their skills off and their techniques, which is fantastic. But I know that not everybody has time to watch them all, so I'm not going to stay on too long. This is going to be a express live, and I'm just going to show you just a few fun techniques and let you get on creating them and purchasing them from the cake decorating company. So, what I have, coral, pink, I'm going to go more orange, and I'm going to go over this again and blend it a little bit more at the end. So, here we go. So I was watching that, what's it called, Tiger King. I thought it was insane, but it's just crazy what goes on, especially in America at the moment. So actually the whole world is in such a bad way at the moment, so it's really nice to be able to come together and share some creativity. So in times like this, we're actually seeing a lot of the best in people, a lot of people sharing what they wouldn't normally share, businesses coming together. So we're actually delighted to be able to show you some of our fun techniques here on the Cake Decorating Company's page. And it's such a hard time for many businesses as well. So it's great that we're all coming together to support each other during this period, because it's a difficult situation for everybody. We here at SweetStamp have been creating a lot of face shields for frontline workers. We repurpose most of our machinery, and we have made those face shields, you know, the ones that go over the glasses and the face masks, and that's been keeping us very busy. So it's always nice to take a little break and be a little bit creative as well. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of blending all these areas in with just pure alcohol. And the good thing about this alcohol, it just evaporates. So if you're worried about painting with alcohol, or just using the alcohol in cake for any purpose, and you're worried about kids or just people who don't want to ingest alcohol, it evaporates. Now, if you have somebody who doesn't want alcohol for religious reasons, I wouldn't think that this would work. So I would maybe use the dusts and just dust them on the side of the cake. So let me finish off here. Some pink on the back. I've got this black on the top, but don't worry, I'm going to be covering this. I'm going to be showing you how to apply fresh flowers to cakes, because I know we don't always have time to make our own flowers. That is an art in itself, and as I said earlier, I'm not one for patience, so the flower making can be left up to those beautiful flower artists that are all over the world, and I will stick to using fresh flowers. So I'm just patching, bringing the contrast of some colors up, blending it, kind of powdering it a little bit here. That's really nice. So you can see how lovely this is. Now the Gingerbread Bakery, who I was inspired by, she actually didn't paint. I don't think she did anyway. If you go online, you'll see her lovely version of this cake. And I think she used buttercream. So she covered her cake in white buttercream, and then she colored maybe pinks and oranges, and she scraped random bits on and then scraped the whole buttercream cake, and it just gives that really cool technique. So there's loads of different ways to create this beautiful watercolor effect. You can do it with buttercream. There's a whole art in buttercream at the moment, and it's becoming a very popular medium to work with online. But if you're into the classic sugar paste, this is a great one as well. So I'm just accentuating some of the oranges there. If bits of the paint drip, don't worry. And I think we're almost done. So you can see how fabulous that is. I really love that. So if you can translate that to any style. If it was like a baby cake, like baby boy, you could do different shades of blue. And you know it'd be lovely, little hints of gold leaf around this would be really pretty as well. So I'm going to let that dry. Is it drying? It is drying. So that's going to take a few minutes to dry. If you're using the dust, they dry instantly, pretty much with the alcohol. But because these are liquid paints mixed with alcohol, it takes a little bit longer to dry. But while this is drying, I'm going to show you how to create the cake topper that matches this. And it's going to be a really fun Tiger King saying. So I'm just going to pop this over here. And I'm going to move on to the blank canvas. And if anybody's online now that has any questions, let me know. I'm just going to pop on my Facebook page here, and I'm going to be able to see who's online and if you've got anything to say to me. Let me know where in the world you are watching this as well. I know a lot of people tune in from different countries, which is amazing. Emily's online, my sister. You can always trust your family to pop online. So I'm just going to rest this up here and have this on the background so I can see if there's any questions. So I'm going to use the blank canvas topper now, and I'm going to pop onto the different view so you can see exactly what's going on my worktop here. So as I showed you earlier, I'm using the SweetStamp lettering sets, the SweetStamp Botanicals set, which is the florals. We are using the dusting brushes, perfect pour bottles, and blank canvas cutter and topper. And we're going to be using the dust instead of the paints, which are identical colours. And that's what's so great about the Sweepstakes Edible Art brand. They can match a lot their colours with the dusts, which helps because sometimes you need dust for one part of your project and paints for the other, and you can't always match them. So I find that's great because you can match them there. So, can't see any comments, it's just not working for me. Oh, here we go. So loads of people online, how are you all? And also, if you have an opportunity, please share this live to your favorite Facebook groups. There's so many great groups online, I'm sure you're on. Just give it a little share and let everybody see what we are doing here today. So I'm just going to use some plain white sugar paste. The Cake Decorating Company have some great brands of sugar paste. They even have their own one called The Sugar Paste, and there's so many great reviews in that, so maybe you could check that out. Sugar paste is the same as fondant, it just depends on what country you're in. So we call it sugar paste in Ireland and the UK a lot, but a lot of the time in the States and Canada it's called fondant. It's the exact same stuff, so don't worry. Just different ways of saying things. Can you use food colour mixed with alcohol? Sometimes you can, Chloe, but the problem is it's not designed for that, so it doesn't always work. But you might have success, but I can't exactly recommend that because there's so many different brands, and again, it's not designed for that, so you might not get the lovely effect that I'm creating here. So I just use a little bit of icing sugar on the countertop there because it's a warm day, and as you know, if you're used to sugar paste, it can be temperamental depending on the humidity or if it's hot or cold, whatever the weather. You have to work differently with the sugar paste, and it depends on the brand as well, what your favorite brand is. So I'm just rolling this about 3 mil deep and making sure it's nice and smooth and even. I'm happy with that there. Make sure it's not sticking to your tabletop as well, that's really important. And then I'm going to use my round cutter because this matches the exact same size as the blank canvas topper, and I'm going to cut, because this is circle, I have the benefit of twisting here, and it's going to lift that up, and I've got a perfect circle there for my topper. Also, these cutters can be great if you're using them for a plaque on the front of a cake or a giant cookie. That's going to be, I have to do that, I haven't had a chance to yet, but I'm going to make a giant cookie sometime. So I'm just going to open my packet here for the blank canvas topper. And again, there's 6 styles in the blank canvas toppers: hexagon, plaque, star, hearts, rainbow, and we have the circle here. And usually you don't need any like glue or anything on the back of this. You can just pop it straight on. I didn't use too much icing sugar, so we're fine. But if you wanted, you can use a little bit of edible glue to help it stick. But that should be Yeah, that's sticking perfect. So you can see I've already started with my custom cake topper here, and it went on perfectly. And we've got the nice depth there, about 3 mil for the sugar paste to emboss. And you want to make sure when you're using your sweet stamp, you're embossing into soft sugar paste. You're not going to have much luck if you have to emboss into firmed up sugar paste. So let me get going here. I'm going to start with my classic set here. So this is the light purple set that the Cake Decorating Company have online at the moment, and I'm going to write "Hey cool cats and kittens," because if anybody's watched The Tiger King, that's a saying that Carol Baskin uses. She actually says, "Hey all you cool cats and kittens," but I'm just going to keep it short. I don't want to be spelling out words for an hour here for you. So with sweet stamp lettering, you're just going to get a small ball of sugar paste, fondant, whatever you call it, and you're going to make it a little bit sticky. And I'm going to use that to pull the letter out of its holder. So all of the sweet stamp sets are in alphabetical order, uppercase and lowercase. A lot of the sets actually have numbers as well, just like this one here. And it just makes it really easy to be able to see where the letter is. So you're not like, oh, where is S? And you're searching for it. You know it's going to be exactly after or, and everything is just so easy and quick to access. And a lot of the sets, especially the medium and small ones, have duplicates. So we have 2 A's, 2 E's, 2 I's, 2 O's, 2 P's, 2 S's, 2 T's, and so on. So you do have duplicates there. You don't have to have duplicates, and I'll show you here now why you don't have to, but sometimes it's just handy, and if we have space, we'll make it happen as well. So I'm just going to make sure that my the surface is just slightly, take the tackiness out, but it just makes the process of embossing much easier for you. So just if there's any tackiness on your sugar paste, just a little bit of a rub of some corn flour, icing sugar will help that. So I have hey, I'm going to go H-E-Y for hey, and I'm going to use all caps for this. Again, there's no rules with sweet stamp, it's whatever you like and whatever looks good for the project that you're planning. So I'm just using as in hey, so all caps for that. And then the next one is cool. So hey cool cats and kittens. So I'm just going to write cool here, C-O-O-L. There we go. And because there's duplicates of the O's there, that's no problem. But when I get to spell cats and kittens, I'm going to show you why you don't need the duplicates. You can actually work around it. And the thing about sweet stamp is as well, it's one of those things that's going to last you a long time. It's an investment piece, and people are saying it's adding a lot more value to their cake decorating because their customers are asking for sweet stamp lettering now. So you probably see a lot of cakes online with sweet stamp and the effects that you can do with it. So I'm going to use the pickup pads. I would always recommend using the pickup pads for your lettering. Like, you can press down with a smoother if you want here, but I find it much easier to use pickup pads because it does all the work for you. So I'm just going to use the larger pickup pad because I'm obviously saying a larger word, well, 2 large words there. So the pickup pad has a hard plastic side and a softer plastic side. And I've just realized there's a little bit of sprinkles on this from the last use I had. And this is completely reusable, and I'll show you how to clean it as well. It's a very easy to clean. I wish I cleaned this before, but it should work. And I'm going to use the soft side to press down. And I'm going to press a little bit lightly because I don't want to, I'm going to paint these letters in by hand, and I'm going to show you the difference of depth and embossing. Because I'm painting these in by hand, I'm pressing lightly. So you can see hey cool is embossed there, and it's not too deep. It's probably a little bit deeper than I should have done, but anyway, I'm going to show you why you need to emboss deeper sometimes and lighter some other times. And then when you're finished, you just pop your letters back into their holder. So easy. Sometimes the C is the wrong way around. Yeah, that's great. It's grand there. So, in case you're wondering, I'm here in Ireland. We're not a UK company, we're from the Republic of Ireland, but we have a lot of support and friends in the UK, and the Cake Decorating Company have been very kind, and they stock most of the sweet stamp products and offer them to you there in the UK and beyond. And we have a beautiful sunny day here, which is making it very hard for everybody to stay inside, but overall we're being very good. Actually, I need to take the and out of this set here. I'll just use that in a sec. So now we're going to go to the elegant set, which is, it has to be my favorite. Sometimes my favorites change, but I think this is a set I always go back to. I think it's because it's so pretty spelling my name as well. So I'll show you here. When I go to the shows, I'm always writing Amy as the demonstrations because it's only 3 letters, so it's really simple. Isn't that lovely now? So it's a really great set for statement names on the front of a cake or on your blank canvas topper. Right now, we should be in Miami, and I'm sure the cake decorating company had planned to go back there as well. They were there last year. And also we were meant to be in London this weekend, the weekend just gone, with the shows. So there's a lot of things changed over the last few weeks, but we're very happy to be safe and well here and showing you some lovely cakey techniques. So I'm going to write cats, C-A-T. See how easy it is to pull out the letters? You know exactly where they are, all lined up in alphabetical order. And now I'm just going to write cats, and I just want to leave a little bit of space because I'm going to put cats and on the same line. So I'm just lining these up exactly as I want to emboss them onto my blank canvas topper, and that's lovely. Such a beautiful set. And then the and I'm going to write kittens on the bottom there. So yeah, you can use the large or the small pickup pad. You can just do small words. I like to do longer phrases. And the reason I don't do it all at once is because it makes it easier if you're adding different pressure and so on. Actually, I'm going to leave this one out because I'm going to hand paint that. I'm going to show you how to perfect pour cats and the word kitten. And if you're using perfect pour, or if you're applying sprinkles into your lettering, you're going to emboss a bit deeper. So I'm just going to press a little bit deeper than I did originally, because you want to create a deep kind of channel for your perfect pour bottle to flow into. You don't want it too shallow because it might overflow. And now I'm just going to pop the word kittens on that. So this is quite a long, it's a longer phrase than normal. Like normally you just write like somebody's name or their birthday, age and so on. So like Amy is 18 or something like that. Wish I was 18 again. But this is such a cool little phrase. I had to do it. And I'm going to show you how to decorate the sides of this with the Botanical set. So here is the example now of me using the same letter twice. So I'm just going to make this a little bit tighter because kittens is a slightly longer word. So I'm going to actually separate this word into 2 because I'm going to need the T twice, so K-I-T-T-E-N-S. So instead of just leaving a gap and so on, this actually works really well to show you how you don't need duplicates. So again, I'm going to emboss deeper because I'm going to perfect pour these, and then I just get the rest of the word. T-T, oh, I need more letters here from the tray. E-N. S, and the S is already out. And all the SweetStamp sets are color coded as well, so it makes it much easier if you have a few sets to be able to tell them apart, and it just makes them that bit more pretty as well. So we've got the second half of our word here. I'm so bad at spelling, I hope I spelled everything correctly. And I'm just going to emboss that deep again because I'm going to use that perfect pour bottles. And then I'm going to use the and sign, and I'm not going to emboss as deep because I am going to be painting the and. So just like that, just a little bit lighter. So let me show you close up what I've done there. So you can see where I've pressed cats and kittens that bit deeper and lighter with hey cool and the and sign, or ampersand, isn't that how to say it? So when I've finished popping all my letters safely back in their tray, everything is nicely in order and ready to use for the next time. And only a few months ago we added the storage boxes, these guys here, to the SweetStamp range. So anything that you're going to buy from the cake decorating company already has the boxes on it. So that's just an extra little perk for SweetStamp users, and anybody who has had SweetStamp before the boxes, we are trying to make them possible for sale individually, and the cake decorating company will have them in stock when that they are available. But unfortunately, there's been a few obstacles with the virus and shipping and production, so just bear with us for now. We will make that happen. So I'm on to the beautiful botanical set, and I think this is just such a pretty set, and I'm going to show you how to create just a lovely delicate texture. You don't have to paint these in. You can actually just leave them plain, or you can just go all detail if you want. There's no rules, as I said. So I'm just going to line these up around the blank spaces on my blank canvas topper, and I'm going to show you how to create just a very delicate looking texture with them. I just want to choose some different flowers here. So as you can see, there is like loads of different options here. You have like your stems, you have leaves, you have individual leaves, you've got like these little things here, don't know what they're called. You've got a few different types of leaves here. These are actually lovely too. Actually, I'll pop this here. That's just very pretty. And you have like your large roses, peonies, daisies. That's a lovely daisy here. And also, when you get your botanical set, you'll see there's little lines on the actual flowers, and there's a line on the flower and the tray, and that's going to help you line them up to pop them back in, because flowers look, you know, you could just be forever trying to figure out how that goes in. So we've made that easier for you, and we have made lines to, once again, making the cake decorating easier and prettier with SweetStamp. So I've used hydrangea. I might get, this is the hard part, trying to pick the flowers. I'll use this guy here. So I'm letting these go off the side slightly, so it just looks like they're, you know, just a pretty little delicate feature on the side of the blank canvas topper. So like, you can use your round pickup pad for this. It's really easy for spot design, so just really quick and easy. You don't have to get the big one out. You can just emboss, create your little texture. Actually, I'll go a little bit deeper in that one, and just pop them back into their tray. Little jigsaw puzzle. I'm not going too deep at all for these guys because I'm not painting these in. I'm going to be doing the watercolor technique with the dusts over this, and you're going to see this blank canvas just transform to a really pretty topper that's going to match the cake that we just painted. So just little delicate embossing here. I actually tend to use this little pickup pad a lot. I just find it super handy, especially for these little things. It's sized perfectly for cookies and cupcakes, but I use it a lot for this. And it's great because if you have like 10 or 20 cupcake toppers or cookie toppers that you need the exact same design for, you can just make your little SweetStamp design with maybe your mini sets like the vanilla or cookie, and you can just emboss, 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 and you don't have to worry about lining them up every time. And when you're finished, just pop your protective film back on it and close your box. Oh, one missing. Make sure that doesn't happen. And that's it. Nice and easy. And if you do accidentally lose one, I think we got an email at the weekend, somebody washed them down the sink accidentally, just get in touch with us at SweetStamp. We have spares, and we will make that happen for you. Actually, I'll tell you how to clean these as well. So you're just going to take the rubber part of the blank canvas, and you're going to peel that off, and all you're going to do is get warm soapy water and rinse that. You're going to get rid of any like dust or oils that we all pick up when we're cake decorating, because it's a very messy process, as you can see here, and I'm a very messy person in general anyway. So we're ready to paint. So I'm going to start with the dusts, and I'm going to use exact same shades as the paints that we painted the cake, but in dust form. So let me just grab my alcohol here. So I use this stuff a lot, and I'm just going to get my little dusts, and they come in these really cool little holders. They're like little Tic Tac bottles or boxes. And you're just going to tap the paint out, or the dust out. Now you can dust this straight onto any sugar paste if you want, royal icing, gum paste, flour paste, whatever you call it. But I'm going to turn this into a paint. I'm going to show you how to do it that way. But if you just want to dust this straight on, you'll get a really pretty faint shimmer from this. But I just want a slightly stronger finish, so I'm just going to go straight on. Mix this with the alcohol, just like I did earlier with the paints, and I'm going to paint this in. So I'm going to start with, I should have started with a lighter colour, but anyway, and I'm just going to really loosely go over the flowers and just alternate a little bit. So you can see here, I'm not painting the flowers in, I'm just painting on top of them, and it's giving this really cool watercolor technique here, or finish, sorry. And the alcohol is going to evaporate so fast, and we are going to have a really lovely shimmer on top of the blank canvas topper here. And again, you can go back over it for more details if you want. I'm just going to go and paint it in and then do the details after. A little bit of orange needed. I missed the orange on that side. And orange here. This isn't the dusting brush, so you can see it takes a little bit longer, but I think I've dirtied all my dusting brushes. Yeah, I have. I'll just continue with this little guy. It's a little bit longer. More alcohol needed. See, this is why I'm so messy. And you can fix them up with and blend them with your fingers if you need. And I'm just going to mix and blend and continue all the way around. Oh, I have this lovely leaf down here as well, so I need to do that as well. And actually I'm just going to go straight on with the alcohol here and blend that in. So really pretty. Again, you can do this with any of our elements. Elements are like our designs, our shapes. We have the botanical set, we've got a tropical set, and you can see the guys in the Cake Decorating Company are online there, sharing any links to these products if you need to have a browse. And if you're worried about you know, checking them out online before they sell out, you can actually view this live and shop at the same time. There's a little option on your screen when you're watching there that shows you, I think it's two little squares, and if you press that, it just makes this screen go smaller and you can browse the shop in the background. Okay, we're going to continue on up here, and the alcohol evaporates so fast, I need to keep topping it up. And hasn't that transformed so quickly? Now, like, how long did that take? And it looks like it took so much longer. It's all about cheating. So, I'm loving that. You know what, you could even leave that as it is. You wouldn't need to paint all those letters in. Like, the lines from all the botanical set have just been accentuated, and you probably can't see it at home there, but the shimmer of this luster dust is fantastic. So I'm going to now show you how to use the Perfect Pour bottles, and I know you're going to love this. So this is the Perfect Pour bottle here. I'm actually going to zoom in even closer so you can see this in action. You need to see how fantastic the Perfect Pour is. Perfect Pour is a technique created by our very own Michelle from Sweet Shell. She works with SweetStamp a lot, and she also works with my parents' company as well. So she's a friend of ours, and she is a very creative person. And we came up with Perfect Pour, must be a year ago now. And it's just a way to pour your paint in rather than painting. So I know sometimes people struggle with painting, but there's no reason to worry. Like, you don't have to be perfect with SweetStamp. Sometimes I paint things and make little mistakes, and you don't really notice it. And always try use the lighter colors, like the golds or light pinks or silvers if you're beginning, because they don't show the mistakes as much. So don't start with black or red or anything really deep, just if you're a beginner sweet stamper. So I'm going to show you how to fill the Perfect Pour bottle. So I'm just going to unscrew the top. The Perfect Pour bottles come in a set of 2 and have a little funnel with it and 2 little lids and the little nozzles on the top of the bottle. And I'm just going to pop this tiny little funnel into the top of the bottle. And in a separate little jug, you can use an egg cup or a little measuring jug, I'm going to pop the dust into it. Again, very easy to use the Sweepstakes luster dust. This is the pure gold colour, and the Cake Decorating Company have that in stock at the moment. Like, look at how lovely that packaging is, and there's so much dust like crammed into that. This is like the real high quality dust, so you don't have to worry about some dusts that are floating around that are non-toxic or non-edible, which are you can only use for non-edible things. This is completely edible, and it's real high shine as well. So I'm just going to dilute that, not too much. You want to make sure your mixture is thick enough. You don't want a runny mixture with perfect pour. And the good thing is you can just judge by your mix. You'll see how thick it is. You can add a little bit more dust if you want, a little bit more alcohol, until you get the right consistency. And then you just pour that in, just like that. Now, I already had some in there, so normally you'd add a little bit more. And that's it. All ready to go. So I have a nice mix there. It's thick enough, it's not too runny. And are you ready for the magic? So make sure you're giving us a thumbs up or a heart, and depending on what you're thinking of this. I know you're going to love it. So it's really simple. Now with Perfect Pour, this is a substitute for painting. So when you're painting, you're normally going in, you're going around the letters and you're taking your time. But what this is, it's not a painting technique, so you're not going to move the bottle. You're going to find an area within the letter and you're going to pour, and it's just going to run into all the little channels of the letter. Sometimes you might need to find two positions in a larger letter like this, but normally it's just one point. So I make sure my nib is nice and clean, and I'm going to find that middle point, and I'm going to press and pour. And just like that, my letters are being flooded with the Perfect Pour bottles. And I'm not like painting here, I'm just moving and pressing. And I'm using the pressure of when I am sucking it back into the bottle, then to move on to my next letter. And if you're missing a little bit, don't worry, you can go back over your paintbrush with your paintbrush or a scriber needle just to help encourage it go into that little area. So don't worry, don't spend too much time panicking here. Everything else can be fixed after. And the Cake Decorating Company have the Spectrum Flow wipes. If you make any mistakes, I actually have a packet here, I'll show you what they look like. And so you can just easily paint in those letters without painting, and if there is any mistakes, we have a solution for you as well. Isn't it just like magic, the way it flows into all the channels? Almost done. So see here where it's just needs a little bit more encouragement. I'm just going to let that have that bit of encouragement with the paintbrush and move it to the last point. So this is a perfect consistency for my paint, because it is not too runny, it's not too thick, it is just right. And I'm just doing the same with the word cats, and the reason I'm only doing it for the cats and kitten word is because I've embossed deeper. And this is why you need to emboss deeper with Perfect Pour, so you have those deeper channels so it doesn't overflow. And because this dust, this is the pure gold luster dust, is mixed with the high grade alcohol, it's going to evaporate so quick. And you can't use any other alcohols other than the proper ones you get from the Cake Decorating Company, because you need it to evaporate fast. If you have, it's like sometimes for other painting techniques you can use vodka or another clear alcohol for yourself that you consume yourself, but let's just save that for your cocktails and use the cake alcohol for this, because I don't think vodka is going to evaporate quick and then you might have bleeding onto your icing. So that is fantastic. Now, one mistake that I've made before, so don't do it yourself. This is still wet, so wait for that to dry before you pick anything up. But you can see there how fantastic that was. I'm going to show you the Spectrum Flow wipes. Let me just go grab them from the box over here. So these are the wipes here, and if you make any mistakes, you just grab one of your wipes. I have one in here from earlier, and you can just wipe away your mistake. So see, like that, look, that's already vanished. Now I will repaint that there, but you can see this stuff is like magic. I use it to clean the counter a lot as well. So like as easy as that is, look, it's cleaning the surface away back to white. That's actually really cool. I'm going to leave that as actually showing off that leaf a little bit more. So there are the Spectrum Flow wipes, and you can get them on the Cake Decorating Company's site as well. So now I'm going straight into the deep end here with black paint. So again, I wouldn't advise this if you are a beginner at like SweetStamp. Don't go straight for black, because it's harder to get perfect. But I don't care. I'm going to make a mistake and it's going to look fine, because nobody looks as close as you do to your own work. You're your own worst critic, as they say. I'm going to use one of the SweetStamp brushes. You can use one of the Sweepstakes brushes even, that are online with the Cake Decorating Company. And this is the Edible Art Paint Black, and it is pure black. There's not going to be 2 coats needed here at all. And I'm just going to paint in the rest of my lettering. And because this isn't as embossed as deep, you don't have to worry about making mistakes as much. If you emboss deep and paint, you're going to create like a wall within the letter that you can accidentally knock off and make little obvious mistakes. So this makes this much easier for you. And this is the point where the room goes quiet when everybody's concentrating on painting. So let me just get all those details in. So I've only used 2 sets here. I've used or 2 lettering sets, the classic set and the elegant set. If you have any sets at home, what do you have? Let me know. I've been on a live before with the Cake Decorating Company, but I'd love to get to know the audience a bit more. Let me know what SweetStamp sets you have at home, how many you have, and if you've got any questions, because I can see your questions here. Will a normal wipe work? No, it will not. The Cake Decorating Company have engineered these wipes. They are a fantastic texture. It's like a really fine, specialized wipe with the right mixture of ingredients to make a cake wipe. So no, normal wipes will definitely not work. What will happen is if you use a normal wipe, it will make your sugar paste soggy and it will just move around the paint. It won't actually take the paint or the dust away. So I think you'll actually do more damage than help. So I'm sorry, the Cake Decorating Company have engineered this thing, so these Spectrum Flow wipes, so you can get them online. I think they always have specials online as well for them. Loads of deals online at the moment. Also, the Cake Decorating Company have teamed up with Cakeflix. If you know, Cakeflix is the online cake school. They are 2 guys, they're living in Spain at the moment, and they make beautiful tutorials, and you can pay to become a member and see how to create these cool cakes. But the Cake Decorating Company have teamed up with Cakeflix, and they're giving away free classes. So if you go on to Cake Decorating Company, I'm sure you'll find more information about how you can view those free classes, or if anybody's online there from the Cake Decorating Company, they can just tell us more about that. I saw that earlier and I thought it was a really nice gesture, especially because everybody's at home at the moment and they want to learn new techniques. So here we go. And other things that they have on offer is they have this Botanicals set. They have all the SweetStamp products as well at really good pricing. And anybody living in the UK, you get really quick delivery. There might be delays with the coronavirus shipping, because I know a lot of people are online shopping at the moment, but they're very reliable and very quick as standard. What a great time to spoil yourself. Anybody have any more questions? Oh yeah, so the Cake Decorating Company have just commented there with information about the classes with Cakeflix, which are going to be definitely something to keep you amused. And they're always sharing really cool things like inspiration on their pages as well, the Cake Decorating Company, so make sure you're always following and seeing what new things are coming. We at SweetStamp are working on some new things in the background as well. A brand new concept I won't let you know just yet, but I'm sure the guys at Cake Decorating Company, they've always been very interested in the newest products, and I'm sure they'll be stocking this, but it's going to be a really cool concept. It's going to keep a lot of people busy and creating over this isolation period. So I'm almost done here. So you can see that, you know, I'm taking my time, but I'm not too stressed out. I'm just doing what I can and going with the flow of the letters. I think a lot of people make mistakes when you're painting if you're too obsessed with being perfect. So I'm just going with the flow and the actual shape of the letter itself. Black is not a good starter, but you can see here I'm not perfect, but it still looks good. And I can't wait to show you this close up and finally have this cake come together. It's such a quick one to decorate as well. Like, most of the detail is in the topper, and you can prepare that topper, like you could prepare that like a week in advance, 2 weeks. Like, this takes the stress out of cake decorating. I know a lot of you aren't doing cakes at the moment for sale because obviously a lot of events have been cancelled, but if you're making something for friends or family or in advance, this can be a lifesaver, or just a really nice practice. You can practice a lot with the blank canvas toppers. So let me show you how gorgeous this is. Anybody have any comments about it? Anything positive or negative? Let me know. I think it's turned out beautiful, and you can really see the botanical set shine through there, just like shading like a floral pattern in the background. It's just nice and simple, but really effective. So you could do that effect with blank canvas topper on the side of a cake if you wanted, or cookies or cupcakes. It's just so versatile. And I've seen some people just cover their whole cake board in the botanical set just to create a pattern, because, you know, cake boards can be boring sometimes. So I think that's going to bring a lot of cake boards to life. I'm sure comments are coming in already. Thank you so much, Annabelle. So I'm just going to leave that aside. I'm going to clean up a little bit, and let's go back to our cake. And I'm going to show you the next part of painting. There's a lot of painting in this, but it's easy painting. I know a lot of people can be nervous with painting on cakes, but I'm just all about how to make it easy and quick. And messy. I'm very messy. So let me just clean up my workspace here. And we're going to bring the cake back over. I'm going to change view again so you can see what I'm doing from the front, and here I am. So I was just ignore the black here. That was just me playing around earlier to show you how great that Sweepstakes black paint is. But I'm now going to go back to the black, and I'm going to paint a leopard print. So again, you're only using like minimal supplies here, but you're creating something so beautiful. So I'm just going to create a leopard print, and all I'm doing is painting like really rough seas. That's all leopard print is. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to finish it off with a gold like detail within the leopard print. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'll keep going quickly so you can see a bit more, because I have to see what I'm doing here. It's hard to show the camera and paint it at the same time. So, and sometimes I'll do like a line, but mostly it's like really rough, kind of messy C's or E's and things like that. You can put the odd kind of rough circle in there as well, like that. The camera can see that perfectly. And I'm not going to just focus on just covering the whole cake. I'm just going to do like little panels. I'm just looking at one I did earlier there. You want to have a leopard print in front of you. Just Google leopard print and find a nice easy looking one, and you can use that for reference. So I'm just going to go over the top of the cake as well. You're not going to see too much of the top of the cake because I'm putting flowers up there, but it's just on the off chance you might see a little bit. Let's continue the design onto the top tier, and little lines here coming together nicely already. So you can, again, nice and quick. You can mix this up. This can be a zebra print if you wanted. This doesn't have to be leopard, but because it's the it's like that Carol Baskin style, I thought it'd be fun to do the leopard print like her shirt. you can always get inspired by patterns and textures online. Pinterest is a great app to download if you're looking for inspiration for cakes or even patterns as well. You can always just type in colourful patterns or cake designs if you want inspiration. So you can see how fantastic that is. That's so quick as well. There was very little time needed for that. And I'm going to go again now, but I'm not going to go in the same way. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So more kind of C's, lines. Has anybody seen the Tiger King and knows what I'm talking about? Because I was kind of that person not too long ago who was left out from all the Tiger King conversations because I wasn't watching it. But if you're looking to be entertained, it is a crazy series about tiger zoos in States and wars between tiger zoos as well. So see, I'm starting from the bottom there and I'm just going to work my way up. And this paint is actually dried nice and quick for me, and that's especially because I added the alcohol to the paint as well. So that just makes it dry very quickly. Sorry, I'm going to show you again in a second. I just need to see what I'm doing. Lovely. Another thing that Cake Decorating Company are doing as an offer is anytime you order something SweetStamp at the moment, you're going to get a free NHS SweetStamp stamp. We have included them in our last order to Cake Decorating Company, and our last shipment, sorry, and they have them available for you. You might have seen them on our Facebook page or social media, and it's a way for you to create pretty NHS style cakes and cupcakes if you're gifting them to NHS workers or you're looking to raise money as well. So I thought that'd be nice to gift you guys, so you can then create something with the stamp and use it for good use. We're almost ready here. I'm just going to do those two lots there so you can see what I mean. Now I'm going to, what will I do next? I'm going to let the black dry, and then I'm going to assemble the flower arrangement and the topper. So the topper is dry, but this is a dummy cake. So putting a blank canvas or any topper into a dummy cake needs a little bit of encouragement. Obviously, if this was a sponge cake, you wouldn't have to worry so much, but this is a dummy, so it's polystyrene. So I'm just going to use a scissors to make the little hole where the topper is going to be inserted into. So just make it easier for you to insert your topper. And we're all dry and ready. Make sure your paint has dried before you do this. And am I confident? Yeah. And just like that, the cake's coming together. Now I'm not going to put that all the way down because I'm going to be applying some flowers. It's looking lovely. What do you think, guys? Any questions? I love those cakes in the background, Chloe says. I can show them to you in a few minutes. I can show you some of the details. I'm just going to finish this with some flowers. So I bought these flowers earlier from the supermarket. So let's talk about flowers and cakes. So if you don't have time, or you have a different style of a cake that you are planning on making, and you don't have time or you don't have the budget to make the flowers yourself, you can buy flowers in the supermarket or with your florist. I definitely recommend talking to a florist if you are concerned. Most flowers are okay, but there are some that you wouldn't want close to the icing. But the Cake Decorating Company have this really great product that helps you to insert flowers or any non-edible decoration into a cake, because you don't want anything odd in your cake that shouldn't be leaching into it. So the Cake Decorating Company have this product. I can't remember what it is. Is it safety seal? I'm pretty sure that's correct. It's like a tub, and it's a specialized kind of, it's like a wax, and you melt it in the microwave, and you dip your cake wire or your flour into it, and it forms this seal around the part you're going to insert into the cake. So I think it's such a clever thing, and it makes it completely safe and takes that worry out of using things like this with cakes. So I'm just going to chop off with the scissors what flowers I choose. I thought these ones are so perfect for this theme because they're that bit outrageous. That pink is definitely not natural. There's definitely some food colour in there somewhere. Or could it be real? I'm not sure. It's just so bright it doesn't look like it should be real. So I recently used it and it's so amazing. Are you talking about the safety seal? I'm sure they're going to link the product there in a few minutes. Oh, sorry. I should have done this beforehand. I'm just going to chop off flowers I don't want. And we have all these lovely mad colours. And chop them off at different heights. You don't want them all to be too short or too long because you can alternate on how you're going to apply them to the cake. Now, I don't have any safety seal with me, unfortunately, so I can't show you it in action. This studio kitchen is only very new, and I haven't been able to stock it with all my go-to products just yet. So I'm sure they're going to link you there. But hold on, I'm going to grab some white here as well. But I'm going to talk you through how to use the safety seal just one more time in case you don't understand what it is. So just chopping off some white there because we have white in this as well. I thought it might be nice. So there's a few ways of applying flowers to a cake. What you can do is use your safety seal and press it in. Now obviously this is a dummy again, so I'm going to have that problem. Another method is using a cocktail stick and sticking it into the stem and then sticking it into the cake. Both techniques I would definitely recommend using the safety seal. So I'm going to see if I can just line these up nicely without having to insert them into the cake, just for the sake of this. If you know Tiger King, you'll know that the scene or the shirt that Carol Baskin was wearing is she was wearing a floral headband at the same time. So this is what this floral headband, these flowers are to represent, is the flower hairband that she was wearing when she was wearing this shirt. And this is looking lovely already. So there's loads of different ways you can cheat on cakes. SweetStamp is one of them. Painting on the outside rather than colouring your buttercream or your sugar paste, and using fresh flowers instead of making your own flowers. And I think that's the new take on cake decorating, is making things easy and approachable. Everybody wants to make all these beautiful things, but they're sometimes afraid they don't have the skills, so you don't have to worry. So this is looking very cool already. So if you were doing this normally, like obviously I'm not going to be eating this cake, I might get a ball of sugar paste and just be sticking the flowers into it that way. I don't have to worry too much because I'm just resting them here. But that would be an option if you wanted. So you just have a ball of sugar paste back there, and you can see how amazing this cake is already. It's really coming together quickly. And when I finish the live, I'm going to be continuing on decorating here, and I'll pop some pictures over to the guys in the office of the Cake Decorating Company, and I'm sure they'll share the finished cake with you. I'm just going to pop these last few flowers around the back here, and that's the floral arrangement done. You can tweak it a little bit if you want. So I'm now going to finish the last details on the front of the cake, and I'm going to go back to my gold dust here. So this stuff here, and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of alcohol again, and I'm going to turn it into a paint once more. So you can get the whole theme of this cake is just paint and SweetStamp, and it's so easy. So I'm going to get one of my SweetStamp or Sweet Stick brushes, whatever you have handy, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of gold in where the like inside the C's. Now ideally I would have let this dry a little bit longer, but I'll just be a little bit more careful. so it doesn't drip. And because I'm using the dust and alcohol, it's going to dry so quick for me. And this is just adding that little bit more class, a little bit more metallics. Everybody loves little details on their cakes. That's what brings them to life and adds that personal touch. So this would be a nice cake for anybody who loves the Tiger King. Kind of a funny cake at the moment as well. There's a lot of funny cakes circulating, like toilet roll cakes, and you know the unicorn cakes that normally they have like the unicorn eyes on the front, and it has like a face mask on. I think it's great to see everybody coming out and having a little bit of a laugh as well, because that's very important. Great, this is looking lovely. So you can see there, that's looking really fun. So let me show you, I want to show you a close-up of this, and I'm going to show you a close-up of the cakes behind me before I say goodbye. So let me just, I'm going to swap cameras here, and I'm going to show you all the cakes behind me, because I think somebody asked about them here. So let me just pop around here. We have this cake here. This is a cake created by Sweet Shells, and look at how amazing this is. It's a mermaid themed cake, and it is full of SweetStamp. So we have like a few SweetStamp sets here. We have the cookie and the stylish set and the mermaid element set used, and you can see how this some of our element sets can be used for texture. You don't have to use them just for lettering or just little designs. There's so many options, and we have a beautiful phrase down here using classic set, sweet stick set, handwritten set, and elegant. So like there's a lot of pairing there, but again, there's so many possibilities. And this cake over here is another one created by Sweet Shells, and this is a cake that was made for our 2nd birthday. So SweetStamp only just turned 2 recently, and we had a beautiful celebration, and Michelle made this lovely cake. And let me show you the cake we just made here. I'm just going to pop it around here so you have a nice clear view. Here we go. I think that is just so much fun. Hey cool cats and kittens. And we have our fresh flowers, our leopard print hand painted with our watercolor background. You can see all the lovely shades there. And you pop that onto a really nice cake stand. It would really just make it come together. And see all those flowers and the hand painting. Isn't it lovely? So I think that's everything that I can show you today. Let me pop back here. So I just want to thank the Cake Decorating Company once more for inviting me and having me here in my studio kitchen in Ireland at the SweetStamp warehouse, and showing you some fun Tiger King style designs. And I'm really excited to see what you do with the techniques used. So make sure you keep tagging #SweetStamp. Make sure you go onto the cake decorating companies and get all their really great offers on SweetStamp they have, and they've got loads of offers across the board as well. And they have the free NHS stamps if you want to create any cookies or cupcake toppers for NHS workers to say thank you, or you want to do a little bake sale, obviously not on the street, but you know, you could do a raffle or something just to raise money for frontline workers, because as you all know, they're the real heroes during this pandemic, and there's nothing wrong in baking to say thank you. So thank you everybody again. I hope you enjoyed it, and you can always go back over the live again after we say goodbye, and you can watch the whole thing again if you need. And feel free to message me at SweetStamp or the crowd at the Cake Decorating Company. It was lovely to make this cake with you, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.